Hey my sweeties, it's Sarah. Wow, it's been a long time since I've said that one. So it's no secret that my channel has been inactive for about 5 years, and I'm finally back to talk about what's been going on with me and why I'm making this video today. When I started my channel back in 2018, the entire beauty landscape looks very different from how it does today. Trends were different, the influencers that we followed were different, and even the way that we apply our makeup is very different. Back then, I was putting a lot of unnecessary pressure on myself to only talk about what was trending or only talk about brand new makeup releases, which I end up spending way more money than I really want to on new makeup that I may or may not even use. I was so caught up in trying to look perfect and sound perfect and be that like polished beauty guru of the 2018s that we all know, right? I had a hard time coming off as genuine, and I started to feel a little bit burnt out because I was constantly comparing myself to others in this space. And after a while, despite everyone telling me not to, I quit. I gave up. So now, fast forward to 2024, I left my stable job and I'm pursuing a full-time career as a video editor for YouTube. It was definitely a risky move and I was very scared, but after all, I'm glad that I did it, and I'm so thankful for everything that I've learned along the way. Not only did I learn how to use the editing software, I also learned that I just love YouTube. I spend hours every day watching YouTube and following my favorite creators. I also learned that I really love makeup. Well, I guess I already knew that I love makeup, but my new job as an editor really reignited my desire to create a beauty space of my own. This time, I don't want to worry so much about being on trend or having to go out every single week to buy the newest thing. I don't want to obsess over how my hair looks or having perfect skin or perfect teeth. The list goes on, right? I want to genuinely just be myself and really enjoy the content that I make, even if it isn't perfect. So my goal with this channel going forward is to create a community for makeup lovers like myself. I really want a space to just nerd out about makeup and beauty with people who love it just as much as me. I want to be a part of a community where we can share tips and tricks, talk about our favorite products, and just generally have a good, positive, carefree vibes on this channel. So with that being said, I'm going to start posting videos on here again. I really hope that you'll stay and help my channel rise from the ashes, so to speak. It truly means the world to me, and I just want to say thank you to all my little sweeties out there that stuck around and patiently waited for my return. All right, so monologue is over. Let's get to the video. So speaking about a long-awaited comeback, Urban Decay recently re-released their Naked palette, available for a limited time. This palette was originally released way back in 2010, and it absolutely blew up. Everyone and their mother had to have this palette in their collection. In 2010, when this came out, I was 11 years old, so I didn't have this palette. At the time, it was probably way too nice and way too expensive for an 11-year-old to own. So my first Naked palette I did get in 2017. I believe it was the Naked Heat palette, so I'm super excited to try this one for the first time. Even though I haven't tried it yet, I've heard so many great things about this palette over the years, and I've watched so many makeup tutorials back then that were using this palette. So I'm super excited to try it out for the first time, and let's see what kind of look I come up with. All right, so I already have my foundation, concealer, and powder done. Basically, my whole base is done already. Let's just get started on the eyeshadow. So of course, it wouldn't be a true Naked palette review if we didn't prime our eyelids with this Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. I have not used one of these in years, but I thought it's only fitting for today's video. So let's just go ahead and apply this right now. Oh yeah, I remember this. So I'm just going ahead and putting this on both of my eyelids. It's a lot more transparent than I remember it being. For some reason in the past when I used it, I feel like it was like a thicker, like kind of nude colored paste, but this really has no color to it at all when you actually put it on the lid, which is kind of nice. All right, so that is all blended in. You literally can't see it. This primer is very old school. This is the original primer potion. I know they make a few others now. They make one that's like has an added shimmer to it. They make a mattifying one, and then they also make like an anti-aging primer potion as well. So this is the palette in all her glory. I'm just gonna do a simple look today with whatever feels right out of this palette. I've never used the original Naked eyeshadow palette before, so let's just see what we come up with. Right off the bat, I'm gonna go in with this third shade in right here. This is the shade Naked. And I'm just going to apply this shade just on my crease. All right, so now that I have that color fully on my crease, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, which is called Virgin, and just kind of buff that out around the edges just to really blend it in. And I'm also kind of taking that color up a little bit onto my brow bone because it's also a pretty good highlighting shade, but it also works really well as a transitional eyeshadow shade for someone with my skin tone. Next step, I'm going to take the shade Buck right here. It's a little bit darker than Naked. I'm just going to use this to deepen up my crease. And some of you might be wondering why I do my eyeshadow with my eyes like basically open. And the reason for that is I have hooded eyelids. So for me, it's just easier to kind of do the majority of my eyeshadow with my eyes just like kind of naturally looking open. Whereas if I were to do my eyeshadow with my eyes kind of like closed, you don't really know what it's gonna look like when your eyes are open when you have hooded eyelids. So I kind of just have my eyes at their natural like resting position, and then I will do my eyeshadow that way. So that's just a little trick for if you're a person with hooded eyelids like me. So I'm just gonna take the shade Naked again, and I'm going to use that on my bottom eyelid. Just very lightly. I never want anything too heavy down here, just because I feel like it really closes off my eye shape. But of course, you can do whatever you want with makeup. And then on a small angled brush, I'm just taking that shade Buck again, and I'm kind of just lining my lower lid just very lightly by the lash line, just to add a little bit more depth, but not too much darkness down there. Something kind of like that. So I don't know if it's the primer potion is like really locking these colors in, or if it's the palette itself, but everything is blending really, really smoothly. I heard allegedly that this is not the same exact formula as the Naked palette was in 2010, so they did reformulate it to be vegan. So some of the shades aren't exactly the same. I've seen some people swatch them, and I think that this newer palette tends to run a little warmer in color, whereas the one from 2010 was a little bit more cool toned, especially with these like more like shimmer metallic shades in the center here. But overall, I'm really liking the color payoff. It's blending really easily. I can see why this palette is a staple for so many people because it's just so easy and these colors are very everyday. So next step, I'm going to take this shade right here. It's called Sidecar. It's a very pretty metallic shifty bronze kind of shade. I'm going to put that right on the center of my eyelid, kind of fading it from the outside inward. And look at that. That looks so beautiful. I can definitely see why this palette was a staple for so many girls back in 2010. I can just imagine them walking into high school with this like smoky eye every day. So iconic. And I heard when this palette first came out back in 2010 that they were selling one every like 6 seconds or something like that, which is crazy. All right, so now that we put Sidecar on our lid, I kind of stopped it like halfway. I didn't go fully into the corner of my eye. For that, we are going to put the shade Sin. It's the second one right here. It's a very light shimmer. So there we are with Sin in the inner corner. It's kind of connecting to Sidecar and creating a really beautiful, soft transition. So next up, I'm just going to take the shade Naked again and kind of just do one last very soft blend of everything. All right, so now that we're fully blended out, I'm just going to take the shade Sin again, and I'm going to put that right on my brow bone. Just very, very lightly at the top here, because this is a pretty intense highlighter shade. So I'm just kind of lightly tapping it on here, like that. And the last step to finish out this eye look is I'm going to take this shade right here, which is called Creep. It's kind of like a shimmery black. It looks a little bit blue toned in this container. And we're gonna kind of use this as like an eyeliner. So I'm just going to very tight line the outside of my lid right here and just kind of blend everything together and make it a little more smoky. So I think this is the eyeshadow look all finished. I wish I could have used more of these colors, but I can always film another video with this palette and do something a little bit different. So make sure you guys let me know what you'd like to see. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish this look, apply mascara, lashes, and I will be right back. And for mascara today, I thought it was only fitting to use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I have the waterproof one. I feel like everyone was using this back in the 2010s, so let me know, do you guys still use it today? Sometimes I feel like applying mascara is just for the routine at this point, because like, what is it really doing to these little baby lashes? So I just popped on some eyelashes. These are the Kiss strip lashes in the style Shy. I think this is the completed look. Let me just apply a lip for you guys. And I thought it was only fitting to use a Kylie lip kit. I have never used one of these before, but I knew they were so big in the 2010s. So the one I have right here is the most classic one. This is the shade Kylie. So I'm gonna apply this right now and we'll be back with the finished look. So this is the completed look with the Naked palette. I absolutely love it. I'm probably going to use this palette like every day going forward now because it's just so easy to blend. The colors are so easy to work with, and paired with the primer potion, flawless. Like, you can't go wrong with this palette. Get it while you still can because it is a limited edition. It's only available at Ulta, so make sure you can get your hands on this while it's still in stores. I had the worst time trying to find it. I literally called like all the Ulta stores trying to find this palette, and eventually I just had to order it online. So final thoughts, I absolutely love it. All of the colors in here are just so gorgeous and I can't wait to play with the rest of them. But anyways, overall, I really love this palette. I'm so glad that I was able to get it, and I hope you guys like this look. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and leave a comment down below of what kind of videos you want to see me do going forward. It means the absolute world to me. So thank you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Stay gorgeous, my sweeties.